Today we have 3 movies to talk about. One on Amazon Prime, one in theaters, and one that's not out yet. But it's coming, I promise. What is up, Flick fans? Welcome back to my channel. This last week I watched more movies than I've ever watched in a 7-day span, mostly due to Sundance. But today we are talking about 3 films, well, at least 2 of them that were not at Sundance, one that was, and these movies are Saint Maud, Bliss, and Land. Now, Bliss comes out on Amazon Prime today. Saint Maud is in theaters, will be coming out on streaming next weekend, and Land, Robin Wright's brand new feature, will be dropping in theaters and on demand, I believe, on February 12th. All right, I need you guys in the comments down below. Again, if you like this series of a bunch of reviews in one video, let me know, and let's get into it. How about Saint Maud, a film that follows a nurse who becomes dangerously obsessed with saving the soul of her dying patient? This is a film distributed by A24 in the United States. It is an absolute unexpected journey for our lead character, who continues to get herself in different situations. She is reclusive. She is a devout Christian, but she also suffered an obscure trauma. And her current role when we start out this film is to take care of a cancer patient and to essentially continue to live her life in the way that she believes she should be living it. But is she actually living the way she thinks she is? It slowly starts to become more of an obsessive faith, an obsessive conviction, rather than something that she feels as if she is led to be doing. And I know a lot of that doesn't make sense on the outside looking in, but once you see the film, you will understand how absolutely insane it gets eventually. Now, it is a bit of a slower-paced film, obviously A24. It is a studio that doesn't completely cater to the general audience with their films, but to accomplish what they managed to accomplish here in the third act specifically. And I won't lie to you, the second act did get a bit more slow for me, and I'm thinking to myself, okay, I really like the setup, but it feels as if the movie is kind of showing us the same thing over and over. And then we get into the third act, and if you're looking for horror, if you're looking for unexpected scares, you don't get a lot of it, but what you do get, oh my goodness, and the ending is going to divide. That is what A24 does. I will just say, it actually made a lot of sense for me. And not everyone wants to sit down and watch a film about a crisis of faith, and I completely understand that. But my friend Griffin from FilmSpeak put it best on Letterboxd. He said it feels like Paul Schrader directed a horror movie, and hit the nail on the head. Rose Glass does a great job as our director here. Saint Maud thrives due to its subtle execution and unexpected scares. I'm going a 76%. Again, maybe because of A24, I expected a little higher. It does get a bit slow in terms of the pacing, and I didn't get all of the answers that I wanted, but Saint Maud still packs the scares and some great cinematography, great direction that I think a lot of people are expecting. The next movie we got is a film called Bliss. This is Amazon Prime's brand new movie on Amazon Prime. This is a mind-bending love story following Greg, who meets a mysterious Isabel, a woman living on the streets and convinced that the polluted, broken world around them is just a computer simulation. Doubtful at first, Greg eventually discovers that there may be some truths to Isabel's wild conspiracy. The more I think about this film, the more I don't like it. I did not like Bliss. It's unfortunate because I love Owen Wilson. Wow, everybody expected me to do that. You know I was going to do it. And I'm a huge fan of Salma Hayek. Unfortunately, this film has no clue what it wants to be. It is this year's Serenity. That's what it is. I just thought of that. I'm watching it, and, it's not the worst-looking film I've ever seen. And, again, I love these actors, and all I'm thinking the entire time is, well, it's like The Matrix, just nowhere near as good. But then they do what they do in the movie. It's hard not to spoil this entire premise, and it just never clicks. And my big question was the why behind it all. And I'm sure somebody is going to have an answer to my question, or at least a response to my question. But they never got the puzzle pieces just right. And at the end of the day, it just looks like this big, messy amalgamation of a bunch of different concepts and ideas pieced together in a way that doesn't feel fresh at all. And that's what they're going for here. I think the big problem with this film is just, it's a huge swing and a miss. They're trying to be the next Matrix. They're trying to be this new and original concept, and even mix in ideas from an Amazon series that I saw last year called Upload. That was interesting. It was really fascinating. They mixed that with this idea of this hidden world, the fact that we are not who we think that we are. And again, on paper, looks great, sounds great, but the way that this movie progresses is not the way that it needed to. It does no favors for Owen Wilson or Salma Hayek, especially Salma Hayek. Her character didn't get a ton in terms of depth, and performances, not bad. The look is not bad, but Bliss could not figure out what kind of film it wanted to be, as the convoluted story never finds its footing. And I started out at one spot, and the more I think about it, the more I just keep lowering my score. I'm going to go with 32% for Bliss. It's just, it's one of those that does not sit well after you watch it. And it's not blissful. And the final film we are talking about is Land, starring Robin Wright. In the aftermath of an unfathomable event, our main character finds herself unable to stay connected to the world she once knew, and in the face of that uncertainty, she retreats to the magnificent but unforgiving wilds of the Rockies. And this review is going to be very short and straightforward. Land is beautiful to look at. The landscapes are gorgeous. In terms of cinematography, the film, I think, nails it. And the story of our main character, Robin Wright, is great, by the way, in this movie. I think her acting does surpass her directing. This is her first time directing a feature-length film, and it does lack in story progression. It also lacks in, well, simply put, it lacks in effective pacing. It's very slow. And with this concept that I just read to you, of course it's going to be slow. That's kind of the intentions here, but I needed a bit more. Now, I do really like our supporting character. His name is Miguel. He's a local hunter, and he's trying his very best to bring her back from the brink of depth and allowing her to overcome what happened in her past and find a way to essentially live again. And again, that's a really sweet story, but the progression, I just wasn't as interested as I wanted to be. Visually, great. Performances, really great, even though there aren't that many in the film. But overall, I think it is an okay film. Can't quite go beyond that. I'm a huge fan of Robin Wright. I'm interested to see what she tackles next, but I just don't know if this was the story. What Land lacks in story more than makes up for with Wright's performance, and my score for this movie is a 64%. So if you're asking, is Land worth a watch when it comes out, I'm still going to say yes. I do think you can get something from this, and the ending is great. Powerhouse ending. It's just, the buildup I wasn't quite as into, but overall, 3 vastly different movies. 3 different genres, and you're going to get something different from each of them. So I appreciate you watching this review, letting me know all of your thoughts down below. And if you like this combination, once again, be sure to drop your thumbs up buttons. Be sure to drop your thumbs up down below. You guys are the best. Appreciate you for watching. I'll see you soon.